Good morning, you guys. What is up? Welcome back to my channel. Let me grab my coffee and take a sip. I'm pretty sure it's cold because I left it up here for 2 hours while I was downstairs reading, and I was so into my book and finishing it that I couldn't come up and get it, but I'm sure it'll still be good. Welcome to an autumn book vlog. I'm so excited. We're gonna go to the bookstore and I'm gonna share some of my recent, kind of like a collective book haul from the last like month or so. Let me grab my Kindle because I really want to share this book with you guys. I haven't heard anyone talk about it and it was so good. So we're kicking this off with a book review called The September House by Carissa Orlando. It just came out and you guys, it was so good. I gave it a 4-star. It definitely is a 5-star feel book in terms of plot. The only thing, and I say this all the time, but if I guess the plot twist, like my brain up here, she doesn't do critical thinking, okay? Like when I watch like How to Get Away with Murder and Criminal Minds, like I can't solve the cases. Like my brain just doesn't work like that. So I feel like if I can solve the thriller from the get-go, or like a horror book, that kind of takes away the element of surprise for me because I'm not like reading trying to figure out what's going on. Like I've already figured it out. But it was so good. I highly recommend if you're trying to get into horror. It's definitely like a thriller horror mix, I'd say. I'd say it's classified as soft horror, which is like when there's no jump scares. And if you like Grady Hendrix and Riley Sager, you would love this book. And it's just so fitting because it's like a horror book set in September. But this is about a couple and they buy this super old, I mean you can see the house here, like this super old Victorian house, and they quickly find out that it's haunted, and specifically in September. So every September all of these spirits in the house come together and it's just chaos. Like the walls are bleeding and it's just the worst. They're screaming. September's the worst, and so every year when September rolls around, the house is like super haunted, and then the rest of the year it's fine. And then her husband goes missing, and I guess her daughter has never visited them in their haunted house. And so when her husband goes missing, her daughter's like, I'm coming to help you figure out where dad is. And it's just this, it's kind of got some humor to it too and some lightheartedness, and that's why I kind of compare it to like Grady Hendrix, because I love when like someone is just like accepted the fact their house is haunted and just kind of embraces it. Like one of the ghosts is like her housekeeper and like makes her tea and stuff. And yeah, I love a book that can blend like dark paranormal humor with also like horror and thriller. So anyways, it was really good, and they're trying to figure out where the husband went and they're trying to solve the haunted house. And I love when there's some background as to like, you know, they're digging into the past of the house and trying to figure out why it's haunted. So I highly recommend this. It was super, super good. The only reason I read it on my Kindle is because it's only available in hardcover. But starting that off with a awesome book review. And I wanted to also start this off with a book haul. And then I think tomorrow, I have to film some other videos today, but tomorrow on my lunch break, I'm pretty close to one of my favorite bookstores. I'm like literally 12 minutes away. I think I'm gonna grab a coffee and go to the bookstore, and it's also super close to an Indigo as well, and do that on my lunch break and kind of maximize that time because I'm actually heading to a conference the rest of the week. But all that being said, I want to start off with a book haul for you guys. And you guys know I talk about this all the time. I think it's important to talk about that we all spend our money differently. I really believe in conscious spending, and what I mean by that is not spending in areas that don't bring you joy. So for example, Matt and I don't really eat out often, and if we do, it's usually fast food. Like we're just not big sit down dinner people. I don't buy myself a ton of clothing. I really love buying books and building a home library, but even then I try and find ways to save money when I'm buying books, and I rarely buy a ton of new books nowadays. So I want to share this haul with you guys because I'm pretty sure I got all of these books for $60, which is kind of crazy when you see, like, let me show you guys all the books. Actually $65, I believe. These are all the books that I got for $65. And so, oh my goodness, and they all just fell everywhere. So I wanted to share it with you guys because I love watching book hauls, and there's nothing wrong at all with buying books new, but I just love finding ways to share book hauls with you guys and showing you that you can save money when it comes to books. I got this, which I don't like pocket paperbacks or mass paperback sizes, but this was just too cute. I could not pass this up. It's Murder at the Pumpkin Pageant by Darcy Hannah. I'm just like so into the cozy mysteries this year, and you can't tell me this is the cutest book you've ever seen in your life. Like, come on. And so I got this used on Amazon for $7, and I'm so excited to read it. Next are two new-ish books that I got, and these are from Facebook Marketplace. Facebook Marketplace is such a great place to find books, and they're usually in pretty good condition. These were each $10, and I mean, alone, this one is $16.99 and then this one is $24.99. So I feel like $10 is the range Canadian for like our books on Facebook Marketplace. These are not really fall related, by the way. I just wanted to share them. These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. I've seen Rachel Catherine talk very highly about, I don't really understand if this is a series or what, but she did read some Chloe Gong books in her last few reading videos and it sparked my interest because it's a Romeo and Juliet retelling and I really loved One for My Enemy, and so I'm really excited about this. So once again, I guess it could be considered a fall spooky read, I don't know. And then the other one is A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross, which I'm very excited to read this. This is a fantasy book. I don't think this is very fall related, but wanted to, like I said, share that. Okay, these two I got from Value Village. So these were each $4.99 and I had a 20% off coupon. We've got The Cousins by Karen McManus, which I've wanted to read for a while, and I feel like her books are really hard to find in paperback. So I was really excited when I found this, and once again, like in immaculate condition. And it's so nice now because the Value Village stickers are on the like spine, so it's so easy to take them off. And this just says, families keep the best secrets even from each other. This is the author of One of Us is Lying, but I don't think this book is related to that. I think this is a separate book, but I love a good like YA thriller for spooky season. And then this is actually a new book. I was shocked to find this at Value Village. They Are Vicious Games. Like I literally saw this at Indigo the other day, and this is by Joelle Wellington. I don't even know what this is about at all, but looked kind of spooky, picked it up. And then the rest of my books are from Book Outlet, which Book Outlet is so underrated. I almost like don't want to share it because I don't want everyone to snatch the books up, but Book Outlet is an amazing way to save money. Some of them do come with stickers on them if you can like kind of get past that, but they have some really great up and coming, or not up and coming, but like trending titles, like book talk titles, and I feel like some thrift book websites have like books you've never heard of, but Book Outlet has so many. This is not sponsored. I wish it was. I find they have a really good selection of witchy books. So I picked up a ton and I'm so excited to share. And I believe I got all of these for around $45, $50. I did have, I think, $5 in points to use, but I'm super excited. So the first one we have is Hazel Beck's Big Little Spells, which I believe is the sequel to Small Town Big Magic. I have it right here, and I actually just recently started it. So I do believe this is about a different character, but I'm assuming it's in the same world. I'm not too sure, but we've got Big Little Spells. Then we have, I think I have two books by Lana Harper. I have the two next books in the Witches of Thistlegrove series, which is the Payback's a Witch series. I'm trying to find the book. I don't know where it is. I think it's over there. So we've got, I don't know which is which, but we've got From Bad to Cursed, and then we have Back in a Spell. This is the author of Go Hex Yourself, which I haven't read that either, but this is What the Hex by Jessica Clare. I'm like such a sucker for like rom-coms. I'm really not in my rom-com era in general, but witchy rom-coms have my heart. This just says enemies to lovers has never been more enchanting than in this witchy romantic comedy, which, yes, give me enemies to lovers but witches. Heck yes, I love it. And then Book Outlet had the smaller versions of the X-Hex and the Kiss Curse, so I snagged those because I had the really tall ones, and so I actually was able to sell those on Facebook Marketplace, which was great and make my money back. But we just have the two books in the, I don't know if there's a name for this series, but the X-Hex and the Kiss Curse, which I actually never finished this last year, which I know is kind of crazy. So I think I'm going to finish it this year. The Kiss Curse, which is the follow-up, and it just says this features fan favorite Gwen and the spine-tingling handsome Wells Penhallow as they battle a new band of witches in their own magical chemistry. So super excited. But yeah, that is the start to this video, and I think that's all I'm gonna vlog for today because then I want to go to the bookstore tomorrow and hopefully maybe I'll get a few more books. But I just wanted to share that little haul with you guys. I love sharing used and thrifted book hauls with you guys and just showing that there are ways to save money, because books, I mean, books especially in Canada are so expensive right now. It's insane. And to think like I got all these books for the price of like maybe 3 books new at Indigo is wild. But there is a time and place for new books, don't get me wrong. And yeah, let me know which one I should read first. I would love to know. But I think I'm going to pick out a new book. Actually, oh, I wanted to share the new book I'm reading. Nothing gets me more excited than when someone like someone talks about a book on like TikTok or something and it sounds so good and then it ends up being on Kindle Unlimited and you don't have to pay for it. I mean, you pay the membership, but do you know what I mean? It's the best. So I actually just started called Maggie's Grave, a horror novel by David Sodergren, and I believe it's about this small like abandoned town where there's like only 40 people left that live in it, and they're trying to something about the curse of Maggie, who was like a witch who was killed, and I think she's coming back to like haunt them or something. So I'm super excited to start that. But that was the haul, and I'll chat with you guys tomorrow. Hello you guys, it is the next day and I am just parked outside of Black Squirrel, which is one of my favorite bookstores ever. It's just, it gives such like cozy autumnal vibes in there. It's just my favorite place in the world, and I picked up a coffee on the way. I just got a cappuccino, and then I was feeling like, since we're filming an autumnal video, a cozy fall video, I had to get something pumpkin, so I got their vegan pumpkin chocolate chip muffin. Oh, I just got a whiff of pumpkin. It smells so good. But I'm heading in here with no like list of books I'm looking for, which you might think, Carter, that's silly, but for me that's actually better than going in with a list, because when I go in for a list, my brain thinks I need all of those books at once, which I don't. Whereas when I go in without a list and I just pick out like 1 or 2 books that caught my eye, I don't know, I feel like I do better without a list. Let me know if you go to the bookstore if you're better with a list or without, because for me, I actually end up spending less money if I don't have a list, because then I don't think like I need to buy everything on the list. But you guys know me, I love the gore and the horror, so I'd love to maybe pick up a horror book or some classic Agatha Christie books. I mentioned this in the last video, but I'm still on the hunt for Halloween Party by Agatha Christie. It's one of the only ones I'm missing. And I'm also looking for the physical copy of In the Company of Witches, which one of you commented and said it's actually written by an Ottawa author, which is so cool. Maybe I should DM her and ask her if I can buy a copy from her, because I cannot find it anywhere. So there is truly nothing that fuels my soul more than a really overcast day with a warm coffee, walking around a bookstore with a cute tote bag. Like, it just fuels my soul. Tote bag of the day is also perfect for the occasion. It's from Little Ghost Books, which is a horror bookstore in Toronto. And you guys know I love ghosts. So super excited. Let's head in, see what we can find. And I am very, very excited. So let's go. Hi guys, we're back home now. Wanted to give you a quick little book haul to end off the video. And yeah, I think I did really good, honestly. Each of these books was $6.99, but I do feel like when you go to a used bookstore like Black Squirrel that's curated and has a lot of popular titles, that's a pretty good deal. And most of the books they're usually always in like stellar condition. So I got 3 used books and 1 new book that I was actually looking for, and I've been really trying with new books. I don't find I'm really running to grab new releases, honestly, unless it's like an auto buy author for me. But if I do really want to read a new book, I will try to go out of my way to support a local bookstore, but sometimes it's hard, and they do it on purpose. This is why Indigo and Amazon run deals, so that you're less likely to go to these bookstores, right? I actually was able to grab a new release that I haven't even seen at Indigo yet, which is awesome. So here's my little book haul. They're not all necessarily, well, they're actually all spooky season books besides 1. Thriller books, and I love horror movies, so I don't know why I never dabbled into horror as like a book genre, but this was the year that I did, and Nick Cutter has been a really highly recommended author. I have his book, The Deep, which is more like sea themed, which I don't know if is maybe the right book to start with by him, but I picked up his new release, which just gave like such spooky season vibes. It's called The Handyman Method by Nick Cutter and then also Andrew F. Sullivan. So this is what it looks like. It just says, the trials of home improvement, destructive insecurities, and a horror beyond imagination collide in this terrifying story that will haunt readers long after the final page is turned. The description is kind of giving The Invited by Jennifer McMahon, the one I just read, that kind of vibe with like the whole like building a home. Yeah, this one says like attempts at DIY home repairs, paranormal radicalization. It sounds great. And once again, if I'm gonna buy a new book and support an author, I try my best to do it at a local bookstore. And then the other 3 I got were all used, and they were all $6.99, which I think is good considering they're all in like immaculate condition. The first 2 I've never even heard of, but they just sounded good, and I love trying out new books. So this is called The Graces by Laura Eve. If you've ever read any of these, let me know, because I'd be so curious to see what you think. This just says, this kind of looks like found family witches. It just says, everyone said the Graces were witches. I am River, I am not a Grace, but I'll do anything to become one. So it's kind of giving, well, it's YA fiction, first of all. Sounds like there's like 3 siblings who are witches, and then one of them, I was like, what is that? It's just double bruni. Sorry, so I'm kind of cutting you off here. I bought this is because of the reviews, and the reviews basically just say this is a book you're going to want to read twice. The ending will make readers want to read the entire novel again to admire the clues they missed before, which kind of gives like We Were Liars vibes in the sense of like you read the whole book and then the ending kind of shocks you so much that you want to go back and read it again to pick up on the clues. So it sounds really good. Like, go into it blind is the best way to do it. And some of the other reviews say this just might be the novel to cure your post-Harry Potter blues. Creepy little story told deceptively, mysterious, beautiful, and unnerving. So yeah, I'm really excited to read this. Anna Dressed in Blood by Kendare Blake, and the front has a quote from Cassandra Clare saying spellbinding and romantic, so I was like, that's enough to sell me, even though I haven't even read any Cassandra Clare's books yet. This is your average boy meets girl, girl kills people story, which sounded so good. The boy is a self-destructive ghost hunter bent on avenging his father, and the girl is a homicidal ghost trapped in a house full of everyone she's ever murdered. So this just sounded super spooky, and I've never heard anyone talk about it before. It's not really, well, actually, I have seen a lot of people's fall TBRs say that the Shadow and Bone, what's it called, the Grisha trilogy, that's on their TBR. So I guess it is kind of dark and spooky. So I guess it could be considered a fall book, but actually it's right here. I came across the original cover of Shadow and Bone in a book shopping video a few months back. I did like a $50 book shopping challenge video that was so fun. And I wanted to collect the rest of the original covers. I just preferred them. And there's something about like completing a series before you start reading it. I don't know. I really want to film like a reading book series, like reading vlog. I think that could be so fun. So let me know if you guys want to see that. But anyways, I did find the second book in the like original covers, which is called, how do you say this, Siege and Storm. I just love these covers. I think they're so beautiful, and I literally know nothing about this series. Nothing at all, except that it kind of looks a little spooky and dark. So there's that. But I got book 2, which is great. I feel like Black Squirrel, if you guys are in Ottawa, has a lot of like really good selection of YA fantasy series and mystery and horror. That's where I feel like they thrive the most. So I guess I just need to be on the lookout for Ruin and Rising, but that is my little book haul. And let me know out of all of these which ones I should read first. But I love you guys so much, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!